Hey everybody, hope y'all are having a good week. I know it's been an exciting time in the market. Things are starting to kind of kick off again, which is great. That was a brutal, really brutal bear market. Crypto sucks whenever it comes to that, but if you've just held Bitcoin for a couple of bear markets and you didn't do anything with it, you're in pretty damn good shape. So um, picking tops and bottoms is great on altcoins. Bitcoin, you can do it. It's a little bit easier, but just holding long term and then buying whenever price is down is really just a good way to look at things. And yeah, so BTC had this pretty big move up, which is great. I think I drew in this red line. I must have did it last week, and if you look, or I must have done it on Sunday. So it was a very, very strong level of resistance. So we sold off exactly at that point. Coming down, we did test this little area here. Um, so maybe we can consolidate below it. Looks like it's pretty parabolic right now. So this could go higher here. So let's see. But this is very, very strong resistance. I think it's probably based on the monthly. Yeah, so you've got a candle touch here, candle touch here, candle touch here. I think that's the most significant level. Um, your next level is going to be about 42, and then probably around 45 if we just shot straight up there. Now, this elite wave count, I don't really like this. Um, I don't like that we're actually technically already in wave 3. Okay, that's what I really don't like. I would have expected to start wave 3 sometime next year, but it's a possibility that we did start now. I'm going to leave that count there for now. I don't really like it. So yeah, we'll get into Elliott wave a little bit later. I'm just going to leave that there. All right, so I would expect if we're going to have some kind of large correction, I would expect to see some sort of divergence here. So like the indicator dropping down here, but price continuing to go higher, and then this to go back up, and then we have some long-term correction. Right now, there's not any kind of divergence. Everything's just pointed straight up. So momentum is straight up, at least on the daily or the 3 day. Now on the daily, you do have a little bit of divergence here, which is just midterm correction maybe. But longer term, the 3 day doesn't have any divergence. The weekly does not have any divergence anymore. So things look pretty good on the longer term time frames. So we could have a small term correction, but nothing too serious. Plus, Ethereum hasn't finished its count either. Okay. Let's actually look at the hash ribbons. See if those are doing anything. So I think the hash ribbons, the minimum is about 40% profit. So 45%, so we're right there. So that's the minimum profit taking point for like a hash ribbon. Every time we print a blue signal, we go up at least 45%. Let's take a look at ETH. I think ETH looks actually really, really good right now. Okay, so this box right here is just a profit taking point, right? Most likely, if it hits this box, it's going to pull back just a little bit and then finish coming back up to somewhere around, I'd probably actually say like 35,000 to about 38,000, I would say, based on this. Okay, so the way you take a profit point is to take the top of this to the bottom of this. You draw the little line, right? That's what we did in the last time. Top of that, bottom there. Okay, and then you pull it out to the breakout point. Okay, so the breakout point is right here, and that's where you're supposed to go. All right. Now if you were to take profits, and normally it would correct right there, and what you could see is this, longer term correction, right? And then a bigger move to the upside. And what you can see is just with ETH, it might not make a new high. You might just see an A, B, and then a C that makes it up here in 2025. But it can make a completely new high, right? And reach 10,000 or something like that. 10,000 is not that far for it to go from right at this point. It's 500%. It's not much. Bitcoin's probably going up 400% from its bottom, so Ethereum making it 500% from, or I guess that would be like 800% or something. 1,000% is not unrealistic. But it's closed. Let's see. It did close out of here. Yeah, it's closed out of there with strong volume. So maybe you come back down to test. Maybe not. Maybe just go up from there. We'll see, but it's broken out. We break past here, it should have a pretty substantial move up into that box. Like a pretty fast move, I would think. Okay, so I posted something with Gas USD, and this is a learning lesson for me, for sure, because I should have done the migration a long time ago, and I didn't do it. I was lazy, and the market was pretty slow, so I didn't really mess with it. But this is what I was talking about throughout the cycles, throughout the bear market. I was talking about these falling wedges, and you'll break out of them and you'll retest, right? You'll retest something like this, and then maybe it has a big move up, and then it can come back down and retest sometimes. But then you normally get a pretty big move. So it doesn't mean everything is going to do that, right? But if you do it, for example, if you saw 5 of these and you placed $1,000 in 5 of them, right? You'd still make 1,000% on one of them, even if the other ones haven't broken out yet, right? So it's about probability and then buying at some of the best opportunity, which would have been right here, right? Breakout, retest. Even if you bought after this scary dip and just held for a little while, I mean, you're still up substantially. And now people that buy this, what's probably going to happen, it might pull back right here, but then it can pop out of here and then come back up to this next high. And if it breaks that, you know, then you get into the grand Fibonacci. Okay, I really kind of want to take my money out right now, but I can't because the migration's still pending. Because I've owned this since $1.30 or so, somewhere back here, I think, or $2, somewhere around here. So I'm up like 1,000%. It's not much. I don't have a whole bunch of money, but I've been staking it to Neo. But it's still 1,000% or so. I think a little bit over 1,000%. So I wanted to move it into something like HBAR or ADA or one of those bigger currencies. And then ride that up. So if I could get a 10x on this, I can get a 10x on something else. That's 100x for my money. And that was kind of the plan. Hopefully, by the time the migration's done, this actually breaks up a little bit higher, but that's really hard to say. Now, for example, this is what I want to show you for an ABC correction. Okay, so you had this big wave up, A, B, C correction. Okay, instead of making 5 waves up here, this was the whole entire correction. So now you're going to break out to a new high with a, maybe that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And then you start the cycle over, right? So that's what some of the coins that we've been looking at have been doing, and that's the hard part about catching this wave. And some of the coins that we got caught in, like LTC or XLM or whatever, because they didn't make new highs, what they were doing, I believe, is an ABC correction, and then they start to move up, and that's really difficult to, that's going to be something I didn't expect in the last cycle, but something I'm going to have to keep an eye out for. But keep that in mind. And then XLM. So XLM, or let's pull up another one. Okay, so XLM had this falling wedge, right? Broke out, retested, and then it's starting to climb here. Now, if it does what gas just did, I mean, this goes straight to 70 cents from where it's at now. So you would just see a big couple weeks, right? Tagging this point. Now the pattern's the same. Does it have to react the same? No. But it can. Okay, and that's really what I'd like to see, because I've been holding XLM for a long time. And if that's an ABC correction, so let's look at the other one again. So if all this was here, was a big A, B, C correction. Now what you're going to see, right, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you start the cycle over. That would be your first target. 260, right? And then if it goes higher than that, $4, $7, $10. Something crazy would have to happen there. I mean, I think I saw something like 90-something% of banks are creating or figuring out how to use a USDC or some kind of stable coin or digital currency. So they could be using Stellar. Stellar would have to have a lot of money in the market to be able to do all those transactions, right? So don't think that this can't do that. We've already heard some of them have used Stellar or have been using Stellar. I think in some countries in the South America, that would be nice. I'd love to see that. That would make all of this right here, this move right here would make everything I've been doing worth it. Just this one currency. So we'll see. I'm going to look at some other ones. 1 second. I think we missed PEPE or whatever that coin's called. Should have bought it. I think I thought it was going to go lower than it actually did. Yeah, I think it broke down here, and I thought it was going to come a little bit lower, and I didn't end up buying it. But yeah, there is a chance that this does correct farther. I should have bought some down here, but I didn't. So we'll see. But this, if you wanted to buy some and just hold on to it, I mean, this is most likely going to go higher over this cycle. I think quite a bit higher. It's a risk coin, of course. Let's take a look at DigiByte. Alright, so DigiByte kind of did the same thing here. It's not really in a falling wedge, but it is like a descending channel here, which is kind of similar. So it broke out, retested a second time, so this should actually start to run here. I know we all have DigiByte, but to catch up to BTC, it's like a 300% gain. So that breaks, we want this to break this level here, but this should actually start to run too. Alright guys, that's all the crypto I'm going to cover today. If there's anything exciting happening or anything that I do in the any trades that I make or anything like that, I will let you know. And I will talk to you all on Sunday. See how exciting this week is going to be.